of a team, then welcome to Winning Teams Thursday. We're going to talk today about one of the most important things you need to know as a leader and as a team member that helps with high performance. And this is building a culture that actually thrives. So as you come in, please say good morning to me. I'd love to know who's here. If you're catching this on the replay, love to know hashtag replay. Love back to come back and see you guys' comments and to cheer you on and answer any questions that you have. So I'm going to dive right in. This is one of my favorite things to do is to come into teams and to figure out the ways that we can create a culture that really makes people feel alive and inspired and excited to be a part of a team, which we scientifically know is when we build that kind of space for people, then we're creating the space for high performing teams. And one of the keys to that is to create a culture where people matter. So what does that mean? What are we talking about? I want you to think about when you have had a moment where you matter, where you feel like um, that you were important or you were noticed. Think about what someone said or did to make you feel that way. It's a critical factor. Feeling significant is a basic human desire, and it's a critical factor for mental, emotional, and physical well being in anything that we do. It's very important to feel like you matter for us to have even to creating in a collaborative community that someone belongs to. So we're going to dive right into giving you some ways of how do you create that in your own culture? How do you do that as a team? How do you do that as a team member in a team? Good morning, y'all. So great to see you here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How do we make people matter so that we're creating a culture that's really thriving, one where we know that we're creating a space for high performing teams? So, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Very famous quote. And this is what we're talking about. People want to have a reason to, to know that they matter, that they have a reason for belonging, that they have a reason for the work that they're doing, that it is significant. So, why is mattering so important? But there's been all kinds of studies done on this. There's one that was really significant out of UCLA where they looked at 20,000 adults, and it was a study on loneliness. And they found that out of those 20,000, 46% believed that they felt lonely or they felt forgotten. And in the workforce, 43% described feeling like they were invisible, that they were not seen. This is a little scary when we look at some of the studies that are coming out of schools. In one study where 66,000 students were surveyed, more than half of them indicated that they felt like that if they didn't show up, nobody would notice. More than half. So we have an issue of not seeing one another, or creating the conditions of where mattering actually matters, so that we know that that is actually significant. And what we know is that it actually helps us to perform better when we feel like we are significant. So, on a physical level, what happens is when we feel significant, there's an increase of serotonin levels, which is called the confidence molecule, that influences our overall mood and lowers our anxiety. And individuals with higher self esteem really seem to have more positive self knowledge, self worth, and increased internal motivation and energy. So it's really important, even on a physical level, to feel significant. So, how can you create experiences of mattering, whether you are a team leader or a member of a team? How can you do that? So, we know that it increases performance. So let's look at the three things you really want to be thinking about. People want to feel noticed, they want to feel important, and it's really important that they feel needed. They want to feel noticed, important, and needed. So, what do we do when we look at the first element of this, of noticing others? Well, this can be just as simple as an authentic check-in with someone. Like really not just a pass in the hall feeling of like, how are you today? But really an authentic check-in, making contact and really asking someone how they're doing today. Studies have shown that simply being told good morning by a supervisor can be more potent than formal recognition. So let me say that again. Studies have shown that saying good morning by a supervisor, being told good morning, is more potent and important and can affect performance more than formal recognition. So you want to really think about, how are you doing that? How are you noticing the people around you? And it's really simple. Really be like, take a moment to be present with others. So the good morning, I just said, the second way of doing this and creating a mattering kind of culture or experiences of mattering is to communicate how significant someone is by looking at their uniqueness. So some studies have shown that meaningful gratitude and affirmation are infrequent. They don't happen. And that a majority of workers feel very underappreciated. So we to know that we matter, we need evidence of how we matter. So that means naming people's specific strengths, their traits, their behaviors, showing them the difference that they make to the world around them. We call this purposeful affirmation. It's an idea of really start by describing a specific situation and a specific instance for someone that made a difference with you. And then you really want to focus in on what were their behaviors and the strengths that they exhibited in that situation. And then tell them the impact that had on you by using the strengths or enacting those behaviors. So you really want to not just be like, I really think you're so amazing. That's so general, right? You want to be specific. So to communicate their unique significance, describe a situation that had an impact upon you and really be detailed about it. But you're focusing in on, well, what were their behaviors and their strengths that were really significant there and how they impacted you or the team or the client. That's what's really, really important in communicating uniqueness. And then, so that's purposeful affirmation. The last way is to really show people that they're needed. Okay, to show them that they're needed, that they're relied upon. Been a huge volume of research on mattering, and people who are more at a risk of severe depression really have thoughts like, nobody would miss me if I was gone. Nobody cares about me. In other words, when we feel like we don't matter, it's easy for nothing to matter in life. So you want to show people around you that you need them. And that can be a really powerful way of creating and building a team that is very high performing. So we want to make sure that for people around us, regularly letting them know that they're needed, that they're indispensable, that they matter, the work that they're doing is significant, that they are, if in any relationship, that they are significant and why they are, that they're not just disposable, and that their work is essential for the whole of the team. The whole of the team. It's really important. So it's not hard, right? When you start to have an awareness of what we're looking for, what are simple ways that you can help people to matter? Notice them. Notice them. We're going to recap. We're going to notice them. We're going to say good morning to them. We're going to do an authentic check-in. We're going to communicate how unique they are by focusing in on specific situations and their strengths and their behaviors. And then we're going to show them that they matter because their work is significant to the whole of the team, to the success of what you're doing, to helping the client, to the service that you provide, that they aren't indispensable, that they are key. When you can do this, you will see a culture where people want to belong to that. They want to be part of it. And you'll see people feeling better and more fulfilled and purposeful in what they're doing, which means that then we have higher performance, which means we're intentionally building a winning team. Winning teams don't just happen. It takes intention. It takes awareness. So hashtag team into the comments if you want to know more. We're going to be, we can notify you of when we're doing winning teams Thursdays, but also we have tons of resources for teams. We'd love to point you in the direction of where you can find some of those. And thank you for joining me. It's so great to see so many of you here in the different platforms that we're live on. And I'll see you next Thursday.